You're a single dad on the edge, racing across a crowded hotel lobby to save a woman's life as she collapses, gasping for air. Your hands pump her chest, adrenaline surging, and she breathes again because of you. But your boss? He storms in, face twisted in rage, and fires you right there, calling you a reckless fool who cost the company big. You stumble home to your little girl, tears burning your eyes, wondering how you'll feed her now. Then, dawn breaks with a thunderous whir of helicopters descending on your run-down backyard. And what unfolds next? It's the kind of jaw-dropping justice that throws towards your faith in karma. If you've ever been kicked when you were down, punished for being a hero, or dreamed of flipping the script on a bully boss who thinks they're untouchable, this one's for you. It's pure, heart-pounding satisfaction. So, smash that like button if you love seeing the underdog win. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more Reddit revenge stories that hit hard. And buckle up, pal, because this tale of a struggling dad turning the tables is about to blow you away. Let's meet our hero, Alexa, a 32-year-old single dad who's been holding it together by a thread ever since his wife passed away from cancer 2 years ago. Picture him, broad shoulders slouched from exhaustion, calloused hands from odd jobs, and eyes that crinkle with warmth when he looks at his 5-year-old daughter, Mia, but carries shadows of endless worry. Alex works as a security guard at the Grand Vista Hotel, a gleaming tower of luxury in the heart of the city where the elite sip champagne and close million-dollar deals. His shift pays just enough to cover rent on their cramped apartment, Mia's preschool, and the occasional treat like ice cream on Fridays. But every night, as he tucks Mia in under her faded princess blanket, his mind races. How much longer can I keep this up? One wrong move, and we're on the street. The hotel lobby is a sensory overload of polished marble floors echoing with high heels, the scent of fresh lilies mingling with expensive cologne, crystal chandeliers casting golden light on suited guests. Alex patrols quietly, his uniform crisp but worn at the edges, always vigilant. On this fateful evening, the place is buzzing with the high-profile gala. That's when he spots her, an elegant woman in her late 40s, dressed in a simple black dress that screams understated wealth. Let's call her Elena. She's standing near the fountain, chatting with a group, when suddenly her face pales. She clutches her throat, eyes bulging, collapsing to her knees in a silent choke. The crowd freezes, murmurs rising like a wave. No one moves. Alex's heart slams against his ribs. Time slows. Not on my watch, he thinks, dropping his radio and sprinting across the lobby. His boots thud against the marble, sweat beading on his forehead as he reaches her. She's turning blue, no air passing her lips. Years of CPR training from his army days kicking in. He tilts her head back, pinches her nose, and breathes life into her lungs. Her chest rises. He interlaces his fingers, compresses hard. A crack, a rib gives, but he doesn't stop. The metallic tang of fear fills his mouth. His arms burn with effort. Finally, she coughs, gasps, color flooding back. Paramedics arrive moments later, wheeling her out on a stretcher. The crowd applauds weakly, but Alex just exhales, shaky, wiping his brow. She's okay. That's what matters. But then comes Mr. Hargrove, the hotel manager, a wiry man in his 50s with a perpetual scowl, slicked back hair graying at the temples, and a voice like gravel. He's the antagonist straight out of a nightmare, obsessed with rules, profits, and his own ego. Hargrove storms in, face flushed purple, jabbing a finger at Alex. What the hell were you thinking, Thompson? You abandoned your post. While you were playing hero, some thief snatched a guest's diamond necklace from the coat. Check out, $50,000 gone. Protocol says you radio for help, no charge off like a damn cowboy. Alex stands there, chest heaving, the adrenaline crash hitting him like a truck. His fists clench at his sides, nails biting into palms. Sir, she was dying. I had TOA. Hargrove cuts him off, voice booming across the lobby, drawing stares. Had to? You're a liability, Thompson, a single dad who can't focus because he's always whining about his kid. This hotel doesn't need screw-ups like you dragging us down. The words sliced up. Alex feels his stomach twist, a hot flush of shame and rage creeping up his neck. Internal thoughts swirl, whining. I've never missed a shift, even when Mia was sick. This guy's never struggled a day in his life, sitting in his office counting bonuses while I bust my ass. But he bites back, voice low. Please, Mr. Hargrove, I need this job. Mia depends on me. Hargrove smirks, crossing his arms. Should have thought of that before. You're fired. Clean out your locker. Now. The lobby spins. Alex's vision blurs with unshed tears as he gathers his things, the weight of failure crushing his chest like an anvil. The drive home is a blur, rain pattering on the windshield like mocking applause, the city's neon lights smearing through his windshield. He pulls up to their dingy apartment building, the kind with peeling paint and flickering hallway lights. Mia's babysitter hands her over, oblivious. Daddy. Mia squeals, throwing her arms around his neck, her tiny hands sticky from crayons. Alex forces a smile, but inside, panic claws at him. How do I tell her? No job means no food, no home. I failed you, kiddo. That night, he sits on the edge of the bed, staring at unpaid bills scattered like accusations on the table. His shoulders slump, head in hands, a sob catching in his throat. The injustice burns a fire for saving a life. Where's the fairness? He resolves. Tomorrow, I hit the pavement. Applications, anything. I won't let this break us. But escalation comes swift. Hargrove doesn't stop at firing. The next morning, Alex gets a call from a former co-worker. Hargrove's bad-mouthing him to other hotels, calling him unreliable and a risk. Frustration boils over. Alex paces the tiny kitchen, coffee mug trembling in his grip. That bastard. He's blackballing me? After everything? Mia tugs at his pant leg, big eyes worried. Daddy sad. He kneels, hugging her tight, the scent of her strawberry shampoo grounding him. Just a rough day, sweetie, but we'll be okay. Determination sets in. He'll fight back, somehow. Little does he know, the woman he saved, Elena, isn't just rich. She's Elena Voss, CEO of Voss Industries, a global tech and defense conglomerate worth billions. Disguised for a low-key evening, she's now recovering in her penthouse, piecing together the hero who vanished without fanfare. Elena's team tracks Alex down overnight. Easy with her resources. She wants to thank him personally, but Elena's no ordinary billionaire. She's a force, sharp-minded and fiercely loyal, with a soft spot for underdogs. After her own rags to riches climb, planning the gesture, dramatic, to match the life he saved. Choppers, Perfecta. Her company builds them for VIP transport. The next morning, Alex is sipping bitter coffee, scrolling job sites on his cracked phone, when a low rumble shakes the windows. Mia points outside, eyes wide. Daddy, look, big birds. Alex frizzes, heart pounding. 3 sleek black helicopters descend onto the empty lot behind their building, rotors whipping wind that scatters leaves and rattles trash cans. Neighbors gawk from windows. Sirens wail in the distance. A team in sharp suits emerges, one approaching with a tablet. Mr. Thompson, Miss Voss requests your presence. Bring your daughter. Stunned, Alex buckles Mia into Chara. Her giggles mixing with his disbelief as they lift off, the city shrinking below. They land at Elena's sprawling estate, manicured lawns, a helipad gleaming under the sun. Elena greets them, poised but warm, in a tailored suit. You saved my life, Alex. No protocol nonsense, pure instinct. I owe you everything. She offers him head of security at Voss Industries. 6 figures. Benefits, Mia's education covered, but the real payoff. Elena's buying the Grand Vista Hotel as a side investment. She invites Hargrove to a meeting in the hotel's boardroom, a mahogany table polished to a shine, tension thick as Foga. Hargrove sweats, fidgeting in his chair. Elena enters with Alex at her side, now in a crisp new suit. Hargrove's eyes bulge, face straining of color. Why you? What is this? Elena's voice is ice. This is ownership transfer, and you're out for firing the man who saved me over your petty rules. Hargrove stammers, rising, veins bulging. This is outrageous. He broke protocol. I was protecting the business. Alex steps forward, voice steady, a surge of triumph loosening the knot in his chest. Protecting? You humiliated me, blackballed me, but look who's standing tall now. Hargrove begs, please, I have a family but secure it. Yeah. Alex's new team escorts him out, his protests fading. Alex exhales deeply, shoulders straightening, a wave of relief and validation crashing over him like cool rain. No more powerlessness, justice served. Phew. Talk about a full circle moment. This story shows that sometimes, doing the right thing in the face of injustice pays off in ways you can't imagine. Karma might take a helicopter ride. When it arrives, makes you think, how many unsung heroes are out there, waiting for their turn? What's your take? Does good always win in the end? If that epic turnaround gave you those goosebumps of sweet revenge, hit that like button hard and subscribe for more stories that'll have you cheering for the little guy. Drop in the comments, what's the wildest act of karma you've seen? Share your tale as I read every one. Thanks for watching. Legends will catch you in the next revenge drop. Alex Thompson wiped the sweat from his brow as he patrolled the gleaming lobby of the Grand Vista Hotel. At 32, he was a single dad clinging to the edges of survival. His days a blur of security shifts and nights soothing his 5-year-old daughter, Mia, through her nightmares. His wife had passed 2 years ago, leaving him with a mountain of medical bills and a heart full of quiet grief. The job paid just enough to keep their tiny apartment lit and Mia's belly full, but every shift felt like walking a tightrope. That evening, the lobby buzzed with elite suits and gowns mingling under crystal chandeliers. Alex's eyes scanned the crowd, ever vigilant. Suddenly, a woman in a sleek black dress clutched her throat and collapsed near the fountain. The crowd gasped but froze. Alex's military training kicked and he sprinted over, his boots echoing on marble. She was choking, face turning blue. He performed a Heimlich once, twice until a piece of food dislodged, and she gasped for air. Paramedics arrived soon after, wheeling her away. Alex exhaled, shaky but relieved, but his boss, Mr. Hargrove, a sharp-tongued manager with the penchant for rules over humanity, stormed in. "Thompson, you left your post. A theft happened while you played hero. A $50,000 necklace gone." Alex protested, but Hargrove fired him on the spot, his voice booming, "You're a liability. Get out." Humiliated, Alex drove home in the rain, tears mixing with the downpour, dreading how he'd tell Mia. The next morning, as Alex scrolled job sites in despair, a thunderous roar shook their building. Mia pointed out the window. "Daddy, helicopters!" 3 black choppers landed in the vacant lot behind their apartment, kicking up dust and drawing neighbors' stares. Men in suits approached, one saying, "Mr. Thompson, Elena Voss requests your presence. Bring your daughter." Stunned, Alex buckled Mia into chopper, her eyes wide with wonder as they lifted off, the city sprawling below. Elena Voss wasn't just any woman, she was the billionaire CEO of Voss Industries, a titan in tech and defense, known for her sharp intellect and unyielding drive. Her empire spanned continents, from cutting-edge to military-grade helicopters to the very ones now ferrying Alex and Mia to her sprawling estate on the outskirts of the city. The estate was a fortress of luxury, manicured lawns stretching like green oceans, a mansion of glass and stone that gleamed under the morning sun, and a private helipad where they touched down softly, the rotors slowing to a whisper. As Alex stepped out, holding Mia's tiny hand, the air carried the scent of freshly cut grass and blooming roses, a far cry from the exhaust fumes of their urban neighborhood. Elena greeted them at the grand entrance, her presence commanding yet warm. She was in her late 40s, with silver-streaked hair pulled into an elegant bun, piercing blue eyes that missed nothing, and a simple yet tailored pantsuit that spoke of quiet power. No flashy jewelry or ostentatious displays, just the subtle aura of someone who had built her fortune from nothing, starting as a single mother herself in a dingy apartment much like Alex's. "Mr. Thompson." "Alex," she said, extending a hand with a genuine smile. "You saved my life last night. I was at that gala incognito, trying to avoid the spotlight, but fate had other plans. Please, come inside." They followed her into a sunlit atrium, where floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked a serene lake. Mia's eyes darted everywhere, from the plush rugs underfoot to the abstract art on the walls. Elena knelt to Mia's level, her voice soft. "And you must be Mia. I hear you like Princess Sessa. Would you like to see a real casual playroom while your dad and I talk?" Mia nodded shyly, and a kind nanny whisked her away, leaving Alex alone with Elena in a cozy study lined with bookshelves and holographic displays flickering with stock tickers and global news feeds. Elena poured them coffee from a silver pot, the aroma rich and comforting, a stark contrast to the instant brew Alex choked down at home. "I owe you more than words can express," she began, settling into a leather armchair. "The doctors said if you'd hesitated even a minute, it could have been fatal. Allergic reaction to something in the appetizer. A swelling shut my airway. But you didn't hesitate, you acted." Alex shifted uncomfortably, his calloused hands wrapping around the mug. "Anyone would have done it, ma'am. I was just there." But inside, his mind raced. This can't be real. Helicopters? A billionaire's estate? "Yesterday I was fired, today I'm here." Elena leaned forward, her eyes locking onto his with intensity. "Not anyone." Most froze. "You didn't. And I did my homework on you overnight. My team is thorough. Army veteran, honorable discharge after an injury in Afghanistan. Lost your wife to cancer. Raising Mia alone while working security to make ends meet. You're a hero in more ways than one." Alex felt a lump in his throat, the validation hitting like a wave. No one had called him a hero since his service days. Lately, he felt like a failure, scraping by, lying awake at night calculating bills. Thank you, but I lost my job because of it. My boss said I broke protocol." Elena's expression darkened, a flicker of steel in her gaze. "Hargrove, right? The manager at Grand Vista. I've dealt with men like him, petty tyrants who value rules over lives. Well, that's about to change." She stood, gesturing to a tablet on the table. "First, I want to offer you a position here at Voss Industries, head of personal security, 6-figure salary, full benefits, relocation if you want, and Mia's education covered through college. You've got the instincts, we'll train the rest." Alex's jaw dropped, the mug nearly slipping from his fingers. "Mama I don't know what to say." "Why me?" "Because I believe in paying it forward," she replied, her voice steady. "I started Voss from a garage, pregnant and alone, after my ex left me penniless. People wrote me off, but one mentor gave me a chance. Now, it's my turn." As Alex processed this, Elena's assistant entered with news. The acquisition team was ready. Elena explained with a wry smile, "I'm buying the Grand Vista Hotel. It's a solid investment, and it gives me leverage. Hargrove will learn what happens when you punish heroism." The next few hours blurred into a whirlwind. Alex and Mia toured the estate. Mia squealing in the playroom filled with toys, a mini castle complete with drawbridge and turrets. Alex signed preliminary papers for his new role, his heart pounding with disbelief. By afternoon, they chartered back to the city, this time to the hotel itself. Elena had arranged a surprise meeting in the boardroom. As they landed on the rooftop holopada, a feature Alex never knew existed. The wind whipped his hair, and Mia clung to him, excited and overwhelmed. The boardroom was tense, the long mahogany table surrounded by nervous executives. Hargrove sat at the head, his face paling as Elena entered, flanked by her lawyers and Alex. "What is this?" Hargrove blustered, rising from his chair, his tie askew and sweat beading on his forehead. "Miss Voss, an honor," but Elena cut him off, her tone like a blade. "Sit down, Hargrove. As of 10 minutes ago, Voss Industries owns this hotel, and your services are no longer required." Hargrove's eyes darted to Alex, recognition dawning with horror. "You, the guard I fired? This is absurd." He slammed a fist on the table, veins bulging in his neck. "He abandoned his post, cost us a fortune in theft." Elena slid a folder across the table. Security footage showing the theft happened before Alex moved, unrelated to his actions. "You fired him for saving my life. Blackballed him too, from what my sources say." "That's not leadership, that's cruelty," Hargrove stammered, his face turning crimson, then ashen. "Please, I have a family. This job is everything." But security now under Alex's temporary command escorted him out, his protests echoing down the hall like a defeated echo. Alex stood there, the weight lifting from his shoulders, a rush of triumph surging through him. No more scrapping by no more fear. Mia tugged his hand, whispering, "Daddy, are we rich now?" He laughed, scooping her up, the sound genuine for the first time in years. Elena clapped him on the back. "Welcome to the team, Alex." Justice served, but the story didn't end with that climactic confrontation. In the weeks that followed, Alex's life transformed in ways he could scarcely believe, each day unfolding like a chapter from a dream he never dared to have. The move to the Voss Estates guest house was seamless. Elena's team handled everything, from packing their meager belongings to enrolling Mia in a top private kindergarten nearby. The guest house itself was a cozy two-bedroom cottage nestled in the woods behind the main mansion, with a wraparound porch where Alex could sit at dusk, watching fireflies dance while Mia played in the yard. The air was crisp, free from the city's smog, and for the first time, Alex slept through the night without the gnawing anxiety of unpaid bills. His new role as head of personal security plunged him into a world of high-stakes protection. Elena's life was a tapestry of board meetings, international travel, and discreet negotiations with governments and tech moguls. Alex shadowed her, learning the ropes, assessing threats in crowded venues, coordinating with her elite team of bodyguards, and even piloting one of the company's prototype drones for surveillance. Training sessions were intense, sparring in the estate's gym, where sweat-soaked mats and the clang of weights became his new routine, rebuilding the strength he'd lost to grief and overwork. Elena mentored him personally, sharing stories over late-night strategy sessions in her study, the fire crackling as they pored over security briefs. "Trust your gut, Alex," she'd say. "It's what saved me." Mia's adjustment was magical. The kindergarten was a wonderland of art studios, science labs, and outdoor adventures, where she made friends easily, her laughter echoing through the halls. Elena took a shine to her, often inviting her for tea time, Mia baking cookies in the massive kitchen or riding ponies in the stables. One evening, as Alex watched Mia gallop on a gentle mare, her cheeks flushed with joy, he felt a pang of gratitude so deep it brought tears to his eyes. This is what Sarah would have wanted, he thought, remembering his wife's final wishes for Mia to have every opportunity. Yet, shadows of the past lingered. Hargrove didn't fade quietly. Whispers reached Alex through industry contacts. The former manager was suing for wrongful termination, spreading rumors that Elena's acquisition was a personal vendetta. Elena dismissed it with a laugh. "Let him try. My lawyers eat cases like this for breakfast." But Alex felt a pull to confront it head-on. To ensure no loose ends threatened his new life, he dove into the investigation, using Voss's resources, access to private investigators and digital forensics experts. What they uncovered was damning. Hargrove had been skimming from the hotel for years, covering thefts to hide his embezzlement. The stolen necklace was an inside job, orchestrated by a crony to fund his habits. Armed with evidence, Alex presented it to Elena in a sleek conference room, holographic projections displaying ledgers and emails. "This ends him," Alex said, his voice firm. Elena nodded, impressed. "Handle it." Alex coordinated with authorities, leading to Hargrove's arrest at a quiet trade on his suburban home, where he was caught mid-packing for a flight to non-extradition territory. News outlets buzzed. Hotel manager busted in embezzlement scheme. Hargrove's face, handcuffed and defeated, splashed across screens, his empire of pettiness crumbling. The victory was sweet, but it deepened Alex's bond with Elena. Over dinner one night, a lavish spread of grilled steaks and fresh salads on the terrace overlooking the lake, she opened up more. "I see myself in you, Alex, that fire to protect what's yours. After my daughter was born, I fought tooth and nail against doubters, built Voss from code I wrote on a borrowed laptop." Alex shared his own scars. The Eid explosion in Afghanistan that shattered his leg. The endless chemo sessions with Sarah, holding her hand as she slipped away. "I thought I'd never climb out," he admitted, the words raw. Elena reached across the table, her hand on his. "You have, and you'll go further." As months turned to seasons, Alex's confidence soared. He led security for Elena's trip to Geneva, navigating a tense summit with world leaders, his keen eyes spotting a potential threat, a suspicious aide with forged credentials. His quick action prevented a data breach, earning him commendations from international agencies. Back home, he balanced work with fatherhood, coaching Mia's soccer team, where her tiny kicks scored goals amid cheers, or reading bedtime stories in their cozy cottage, the walls now adorned with her drawings. Elena's influence extended beyond the professional. She introduced Alex to therapy, helping him unpack the grief that had armored his heart. Sessions in a quiet office overlooking the estate's gardens peeled back layers, tears flowing as he confronted the powerlessness of loss. "You're not alone anymore," the therapist said, and for once, Alex believed it. Socially, he blossomed attending galas as Elena's right hand, charming investors with his quiet strength. Whispers of romance swirled, but their connection was deeper, a platonic partnership forged in mutual respect. One crisp autumn day, a year after the helicopters landed, Alex stood on the helipad, watching Mia wave from below as he prepared for a routine flight test. The chopper's engines hummed, a symbol of his elevated life. Reflecting on that fateful night, he marveled at the twist of fate. How from fired guard to indispensable ally, Hargrove was behind bars, serving time for fraud, his name a cautionary tale. Alex's old co-workers messaged congratulations, the hotel now thriving under ethical management, but the true richness was in the everyday. Mia's giggles as they baked pancakes on Sundays, Elena's knowing smile during strategy huddles, the security of knowing tomorrow was bright. As the chopper lifted, the estate shrinking below, Alex felt wholly a struggling dad no more, but a man reborn through one act of courage and the helicopters that heralded his redemption. The wind rushed past, carrying away the last remnants of doubt, leaving only gratitude and promise in its wake. Alex Thompson's boots thudded against the polished marble of the Grand Vista Hotel's lobby, his eyes scanning the crowd with the trained vigilance of a former soldier. At 32, he was a single dad, his life a tightrope walk between security guard shifts and bedtime stories for his 5-year-old daughter, Mia. The loss of his wife to cancer 2 years prior had left him with a hollow ache and a stack of bills that never seemed to shrink. The hotel was a glittering world of wealth, the chandeliers casting golden light, the air thick with perfume and clinking glasses. But for Alex, it was just a paycheck to keep Mia fed. That night, a gala filled the lobby with elites in tailored suits and shimmering gowns. Then he saw here a woman in a sleek black dress, mid-40s, collapsing near the fountain, hands clutching her throat, face blue with panic. Instinct took over. Alex sprinted across the lobby, shoving past stunned guests. He knelt beside her, his hand steady despite the adrenaline spiking through his veins. She was choking an allergic reaction, he guessed. With precise force, he performed a Heimlich, feeling the resistance give as she coughed. Gasping for air, paramedics arrived, whisking her away. Sweat beaded on Alex's forehead, relief flooding him. But his boss, Mr. Hargrove, a wiry, cold-eyed manager obsessed with rules, stormed in, face twisted with rage. "Thompson, you abandoned your post. A $50,000 necklace was stolen because of your stunt." Alex tried to explain, his voice hoarse. "She was dying, sir. I had to act." Hargrove's sneer cut deeper than any blade. "You're a liability." "Fired. Get out." Humiliation burned Alex's cheeks as he left, the lobby's opulence mocking his defeat. At home, he tucked Mia into bed, her sleepy "I love you, Daddy" a knife in his heart. How would he provide now? Dawn broke with a deafening roar. Alex jolted awake, Mia pointing out their grimy apartment window. "Daddy." Helicopters. 3 black choppers landed in the empty lot behind their building, rotors kicking up dust and rattling windows. Neighbors gawked as men in crisp suits approached. "Mr. Thompson, Elena Voss requests you and your daughter." Alex's mind reeled at Elena, who, clutching Mia's hand, he boarded a chopper, the city shrinking below as they soared to a sprawling estate. Elena Voss, the woman he'd saved, wasn't just wealthy. She was the billionaire CEO of Voss Industries, a tech and defense empire. In her sunlit study, she offered Alex a lifeline, head of her personal security, a 6-figure salary, benefits, and Mia's education covered. "You saved my life," she said, her voice firm. "I reward loyalty." She also revealed her latest acquisition, the Grand Vista Hotel. Hargrove's time is up. The boardroom of the Grand Vista Hotel felt like a battlefield, the air thick with tension as polished executives shifted nervously around the mahogany table. Alex stood at Elena's side, his new suit crisp, a far cry from the threadbare security uniform he'd worn just days ago. Mia was safe in the hotel's daycare, giggling over puzzles, while Alex faced the man who'd crushed his livelihood. Hargrove sat at the table's head, his wiry frame rigid, eyes darting like a cornered animal. His slick-back gray hair gleamed under the fluorescent lights, but sweat glistened on his temples, betraying his unease. Elena Voss entered like a storm, her tailored navy suit and piercing blue eyes commanding silence. Her presence was magnetic and not ostentatious, but a quiet power honed from years of clawing her way from poverty to the helm of a global empire. Alex felt the surge of pride standing beside her, his shoulders squared, the weight of his past failures momentarily lifted. Elena's voice cut through the room like a blade. As of this morning, Voss Industries owns the Grand Vista Hotel. Mr. Hargrove, your leadership has been lacking. Hargrove's face strained of color, his knuckles whitening as he gripped the table's edge. Miss Voss, this is highly irregular. I've run this hotel profitably for years. His voice cracked, a mix of indignation and fear. Elena slid a tablet across the table, its screen displaying security footage from the night of the gala. The timestamp showed the necklace theft occurring minutes before Alex left his post, the irrefutable proof his actions didn't cause the loss. You fired a man for saving my life, Elena said, her tone icy. You humiliated him, blackballed him across the industry. That's not management, that's malice. Hargrove's eyes flicked to Alex, recognition sparking with a flash of fury. You, the guard? His voice rose, shrill and desperate. This is a setup. He broke protocol, cost us thousands. Alex stepped forward, his heart pounding but his voice steady, the fire of injustice fueling him. Protocol? A woman was choking to death. I did my job of protecting people. You threw me out like trash, knowing I had a daughter to feed. His words hung heavy, the executives exchanging uneasy glances. Inside, Alex's mind roared. After all I've sacrificed, this man tried to bury me. No more. Hargrove's face twisted, veins bulging. You can't do this. I have a family, a reputation. But Elena raised a hand, silencing him. Your reputation is why you're out. Effective immediately. Two security guards of Alex's new team, handpicked by Elena, moved in, their steps deliberate. Hargrove stood, chair scrapping loudly, his hands trembling as he gathered his briefcase. This isn't over, he spat, glaring at Alex. You think you've won, Thompson? You're nothing. The words stung, but Alex met his gaze, unflinching. I'm the one still standing, he said softly, the truth of it sinking in. As Hargrove was escorted out, his protests echoing down the hall, Alex felt a rush of triumph, like a dam breaking after years of pressure. His chest loosened, a deep breath escaping as relief washed over him. Elena clapped his shoulder, her smile subtle but warm. Welcome to the team, Alex. Justice feels good, doesn't it? The days that followed were a whirlwind of transformation. Alex and Mia moved into a guest cottage on Elena's estate, a cozy haven with wooden beams and windows overlooking rolling hills. The scent of pine drifted in, replacing the city's exhaust fumes. Mia's new kindergarten was a dream of bright classrooms, science labs, and a playground where she made friends, her laughter a melody Alex hadn't heard so freely since before his wife's illness. His new role as head of personal security thrust him into Elena's high-stakes world. He shadowed her through boardrooms in Dubai, tech expos in Singapore, and discreet meetings with Pentagon officials. Training was relentless, a hand-to-hand combat in the estate's gym, the clatter of weights and the burn of muscle reawakening his soldiers' discipline. He learned to operate Voss's cutting-edge surveillance tech, from eye-driven cameras to encrypted comms, his mind sharp and alive. Elena became more than a boss, she was a mentor, sharing late-night coffees in her study, the fireplace casting shadows as they discussed strategy. I was you once, she confided, her voice soft. Single parent, no safety net. I built this from nothing because someone gave me a shot. Now it's your turn. Alex opened up too, the grief of losing Sarah spilling out, the nights holding her hand in the hospital, the silence after she was gone. Elena listened, her empathy a bridge between their worlds. Mia, meanwhile, adored Auntie Elena, who gifted her a toy helicopter that became her prized possession, whirring around the cottage as she squealed. But Hargrove's shadow lingered. Industry gossip reached Alexa. Hargrove was suing for wrongful termination, claiming Elena's acquisition was personal revenge. Worse, he'd spread lies that Alex was incompetent, a reckless vigilante. The rumors stung, threatening Alex's fresh start. Determined to protect his new life, he leaned into Voss's resources. Elena connected him with her private investigators, and Alex dove in, combing through digital records and old hotel logs. What he found was explosive. Hargrove had been skimming profits for years, faking thefts like the necklace to cover his tracks. The evidence was airtight to bank transfers, forged invoices, even texts to a shady accomplice. Alex presented the findings in Elena's sleek conference room, holographic displays projecting the damning data. "He's done," Alex said, his voice firm, the weight of indication settling in his bones. Elena's eyes gleamed with approval. "Take it to the authorities." And this, Alex coordinated with detectives, leading to Hargrove's arrest in a dawn raid. News headlines blazed: "Hotel manager caught in $1 million fraud." Hargrove's mugshot, eyes hollow with defeat, was everywhere. Alex watched the coverage on his phone, Mia asleep on his lap, and felt a final release. Hargrove's power over him was gone. His role grew beyond security. Elena saw his potential, involving him in strategic decisions. During a tense negotiation in Berlin, Alex's quick thinking spotted a rival's hack table to save the $1 billion deal. He earned a bonus that paid off his old medical debts. The numbers on the check surreal. Mia's school hosted a science fair, and Alex beamed as she presented a model rocket, her confidence blooming. He started therapy at Elena's urging, unpacking years of drama in a quiet office overlooking the estate's gardens. Tears came, but so did healing, the guilt of surviving Sarah easing with each session. Socially, Alex transformed. Once a loner, he now navigated galas with ease, his quiet charm disarming CEOs and diplomats. Rumors of a romance with Elena swirled, but their bond was deeper, at a partnership of mutual respect. One evening, as they toasted a successful merger on her terrace, the lake reflecting stars, Elena raised her glass. "To second chances." Alex clinked his glass, thinking of Mia's laughter, his new purpose. "To justice," he added. A year after the helicopters landed, Alex stood on the estate's helipad, preparing for a routine security drill. The chopper's hum vibrated through him, a symbol of his ascent. Mia waved from below, her backpack bouncing as she ran to school. Hargrove was serving a 5-year sentence, his name a footnote. The Grand Vista thrived under new management, and Alex's old co-workers sent grateful messages. At night, he read Mia bedtime stories, her princess blanket now new, their cottage warm with love. The fear of failure was gone, replaced by a certainty. One act of courage had rewritten his life. As the chopper lifted off, the wind rushing past, Alex looked out over the estate, heart full, a struggling dad no more, but the man soaring toward a future he'd earned.